Greetings and salutations, welcome to episode 41 of the YouTube FC save. We're already a little bit into the season because I still had transfers to do, so I wanted to sort of show you them all in one go. First off, I'm going to show you the tactics because we've changed the tactic for this season. We're going to go, to begin with anyway, a 4-2-2-2, or 4-5-1. I don't know, I was reading that bit for some reason. We're not doing 4-2-2-2, we're doing 4-5-1. This is my lead save tactic. So you'll know it in advance. Basically, the way it works is very attacking fullbacks with an anchor man to fill in to basically make that a back three. We then got two inside forwards who support Powell up top. The overlapping fullbacks will bomb forward. They're going to get a lot of assists this season, and that's hopefully we'll try that to begin with. And if it fails, then we'll try something else. So let's look at the transfers. We've been busy, as you'd expect. We've sold £1.35 million worth of players, not bad for League 2, and we bought 82,000. I'm not Arsene Wenger. So let's go through the outs. So Yusuf at Benassar has gone. I couldn't pronounce his name, that's the main reason I sold him. No, actually, he was okay, and he had a decent season for us. He was pretty good last season, but we sold him for £500,000. I couldn't turn that down. Eastham, our centre-back, went away on a free. Adil Nabi got released from the club. He was decent for us. He's just dropping off skills-wise. Still scoring goals, but we've got some really good replacements in. Wes Harding, another centre-back that was shit for us, basically. He's gone to Exeter on a free. Quintero, he's been at the club for a few years now, 5 years almost. Was a bit part player last season, did well, but we've got good replacements. Boya, a youngster that we bought in, never really developed. My fault, I just didn't give him enough game time. He was shit when he did play, to be fair, so that's why he didn't get the game time. Andy Kellett was the sort of backup rotational left back last season, and he had a decent season, but we can do better than that, which I will show you. Next up, we've got Abdoulaye Touré, scored a few wonder goals for us, but he's an interesting player because he's a defensive midfielder, but doesn't really have defensive midfielding stats, such as only 8 tackling, 9 marking, etc, etc. He was on a decent amount of money, so we sold him for 82,000 to Stockport in the same league as us. Next up, we got rid of Courtois. He's a good player, but he's much more of an out-and-out winger rather than a inside forward, so we decided to pass him on, made a little bit of a profit on him. Next up, we got rid of Asensio. He was a target man, decent striker, didn't quite get enough goals, had a decent season last season, but 1 in 3 is not quite enough, so we sold him for 30k to York. Of course he's scoring goals now for York. We're playing them next, so that's why I thought I'd come back for them. He's bound to score against us because that's Football Manager. Next up, we got Remy Robert, who was superb for us last season, but he was really unhappy, kept wanting to leave, kept asking to leave. I said no, and he was pissing everybody off in the club, so I don't want anybody here that doesn't want to be here. So we sold him on for a tidy £400,000 profit to Randers FC in Denmark. So that's a nice bit of cash. And exact same as Jordan, he was brilliant for us last season, wanted to go, I didn't want to keep an unhappy player, so we sold him for £245,000 to Red Star FC. And then lastly, this was my signing, weird one last season that I thought would do fantastic, but was absolutely dreadful. And I think stats-wise, he's very good. You think that's a really good centre-back. But then you look at Mark's opponent Tidy, tries to play his way out of trouble, which is not good for a lower league defender, and dives into tackles. Gave away far too much last season. 15 aggression along with those things is just going to cause trouble. So he actually went to Bolton in the division above, so we'll see how he does. He's never been good, to be fair, but we made a slight loss on him, but that's fine. Now, the players we brought in. First up, we've got Nathan Oduwa, 25-year-old striker. He won't actually be playing as striker. He's going to be playing as the inside forward. He's got a ridiculous amount of pace, really good physicals all round, really. He's just coming back from a bit of a knock. That's why his arrows are on the downward trend. But a decent all-round player. His mentals aren't fantastic apart from flair, but I think he'll do fine for us. Next up, we've got Ben Ben, and he's a central midfielder with shoots from distance and has 16 long shots. So he's going to pop in the old wonder goal this season, hopefully. He's a very versatile player. Really happy to get him on board. He's only £500 a week as well. Delighted to get him on board. We got him from QPR. Played 2 games in the Premiership a few years ago. You know, top level experience. Good. Next up, we got Dali Dooley Fry, and we'll just call him Stephen, and he's a really, really good centre-back on loan from Middlesbrough. He's going to be one of our first choice centre-backs this season, definitely. Next up, we have Matteo Bianchi, our first Italian, 23 years old, possible 4.5 star. Superb player. He's an attacking midfielder by nature, but we're retraining him to be an inside forward. I think he's going to have fantastic. He scored his first goal last game. We'll go through the games shortly. Next up, we've got Connor Chaplin, and another attacking midfielder that we're playing as an inside forward. Just a decent all-round squad player, really. Nothing special. Just got him in on a freebie. Next up, we have Ken Alimi, yeah. And he's a centre-back on loan from Fulham. We're not paying any of his wages. Very good option for our centre-back position. Now, Dimitri Mitchell, we got on loan from MK Dons. Bought him because he's just ridiculously pacey. You know, last 20, 30 minutes of a game, we bring him on as an inside forward. He's going to cause a lot of trouble. Next up, we've got Matt Powell on loan from Watford. Superb striker, really. So absolutely brilliant. All the main striking stats, but decent enough pace as well. Just a very, very good player. Finishing 16, first touch 12. He's got 13 composure. Off the ball's 14. Just brilliant all-round striker. Next up, we've got Scott Golborn, who I think's the Reading youngster, isn't he, a few years ago? Yeah, came through the Bristol City, then Reading. He's been about a bit. But he's got tons of experience in the Championship. Only a couple of years ago, he was playing plenty of games in the Championship. Last season, he played 40 games in League One. So he's 33 years old now, but I think for our attacking fullback position, he's absolutely perfect for a season. Hoping he won't get injured, and he's been on fire since joining us. He's already got 4 assists in 3 games for us. John Graham is next up. We've got him on loan. Just another centre-back option, just to fill out that centre-back role. We've actually struggled to get players in, to be honest. I've had the money, but just slim pickings at best. And then Kevin McDonald, we just got in on a free. He's not played a game for us yet. 32 years old, just a bit of experience. We just needed a backup central midfielder. He's a decent squad player, really good mental stats and stuff, so should help the youngsters. Might get him do a bit of tutoring. I think he's a very good player. So as I said, this is our tactic. We're just retraining some of the positions. Normally I play with a complete forward, but nobody can play it at this level, so I'm going to try advanced forward, but if that doesn't work, I'll then go to complete forward, even though he's not very good at it. It should be fine. And looking at the games we've done so far, first game of the season, we lost home to Stockport 1-0. Boring game. Then we got destroyed by Aston Villa in the first round of the League Cup. Aston Villa's a bit of an unfortunate draw, but we made quite a bit of money, about £200,000 from that game. We got beaten 3-0. It actually wasn't a 3-0 game. If you look at the stats, they deserved to win, but maybe by 1 or 2 goals at most. Then we beat Yeovil for our first win of the season. Nathan Ottawa from the left inside forward position scoring the goal. Then we smashed Southend 4-0. Bianchi getting his first goal, Ottawa getting 2, and George Thomas. So all the inside forwards and the striker getting a goal. George Thomas on as a sub. Then Barnet at home 1-0, which is the game I've just played. No highlights, not a single highlight. There was 1 shot on target for the entire game. So, yeah, glad you missed that one. So today we're just going to play the one game because I've been chatting away. As I said, York has got Asensio up front, who he sold them, who scored 2 goals in 4 games. They've got Kiefer Moore as well. So they've got 2 massive target men. Kiefer Moore's 6'5". He's a monster. So it's going to be tricky for our centre-backs. We can tell how they're going to play with 2 giants up front. So we're going to go with Matt Powell up front. He hasn't scored a goal yet, but he's just sort of getting to grips with the league and the team and everything like that. We're working on tactics and team cohesion and stuff like that to get everybody used to it. Bianchi is playing on the left inside forward. Like I said, scored his first goal. Ottawa on the right, scored 3 goals already. Fantastic. Camps and Gilby in the central midfield. Lewis Collins, defensive midfielder, or the anchor man. Scott Golborn, who's been on fire so far for us, playing at left back. Almi and Fry at centre-backs. There's 2 loanies. I'm going to give them about sort of 8 or 9 games, and then I'm going to try the other 2, and we'll try and find a group of players that works. Spence Brown at the right back, and Nick Pope, who's been our really good, really solid goalkeeper. He was actually in the team of the year last year. 6.94 is actually a pretty good rating for a goalkeeper, so I'm very happy with that. And that's it. Let's get going. So, playing Yorkie. Oh, league table. Might be helpful to look at that. We're currently 6th. Still early doors. Doesn't really matter. Let's move on. Right, so YouTube, we're favourites for this. Well, no, actually, you're favourites. But this guy from... Where's he from? Jamie Laird from BBC Sport thinks we're going to win. So they've got Asensio and Kiefer Moore, so the two big target men. So let's see how our team can deal with this. All right, go out there and impress me, you little bitches. Bit of faith. I think this will be my last. If I don't get promoted this season, I think it might be my last season. Just because, well, nobody's really watching this, save for a start. But yeah, so I'm going to whiz through the season anyway. I'm probably going to only do an episode every 2 or 3 days, just because I've got so many games to play in between episodes and stuff. At least until we get into League One Championship territory, and then maybe we'll get back into it on a daily basis. Right, come on, boys. Nothing happening. Great. 2 games in a row, not a highlight. Right, free kick. Keeper's not decided to come. We probably should have came for that, but okay, fine. McDonald on the ball. Leon to Mills. Cuts inside. Gets tackled, but keeps hold of the ball. Back to McDonald. Trying to find a way through. We're going to see the long ball. It's kind of longish. Almany just hoofs it. No thought to that clearance, but we'll take that. Lower leagues. Don't mess about with it. Don't try and do any fancy stuff as a centre-back. Just get rid of it. Okay, Moore wins that header, as you'd expect. Meredith. He's got a girl's name. He's got a girl's name. Anybody want to tackle him, or are you just going to watch him run? No? Okay, Leon. Okay, this is a super long highlight for no apparent reason. Rogers plays it through to Henschel. Back to Rogers. Ball in. Volleyed. Oh, keeper's just... What's the keeper doing there? Stick out your hands, man. Kiefer Moore, 3rd of the season. Sheer magic, apparently, from York. It's bullshit. Interesting to see what the keeper does here. On the volley, keeper... I sort of stuck out a hand and waved it goodbye. Ah, come on, Paper. You're better than that, son. That was their first shot on target. Brilliant. Right, this is not the best first half we've seen in our entire lives. Hopefully it will improve. They've got a knock just at the... We've got very unhappy people here. I'm going to say you've been unlucky. This might be backfire. No, look at that. Because we played alright. It's pretty even. So we've had lots more shots on target. I'm going to keep the same team. We're still gelling as a team, so it's going to take a bit of time. We're learning this new formation, which is quite radically different from what we were playing last season. So it's going to take some time. But I would like a highlight. Not too much to ask. Just the highlight. Maybe have a long shot. Any sort of highlight for us. Right, okay, nothing's happening. So Thomas going up front. Our pace master Mitchell is coming on. We're going to go attacking. This is what we wanted Mitchell's pace for try and change a game when he comes on. Or just nothing happen at all. So looks like they're going to pick this 3 points up with their 1 shot on target. Brilliant. Right. I think this is the end of game highlight. There's just enough time if we get it in. Just go for it. Hoof it. Hoof it. Into the box. Get it into the box. Yes. Thomas, turn. Oh, that's a weak shot, Thomas. Come on, man. So, 7 shots on target to 1. Okay, good. Well done, York. Clinical, I think is the word. At least Asensio didn't score against us. Right, there we have it. That's rubbish. Right, hopefully it's going to get better. I'm going to whiz on a few games, like play 10-15 games. We're going to like zoom through this season. I'm going to say that they're unlucky because they were. I'm not going to be harsh on the players. Still got lots of time for this season. I am doing team keys and match tactics. Get them focused on it. Let's look at the tactics. How are they with it? So it's just the passing style and the width. They're not, because it's quite a narrow formation, and then they bomb forward to make the width basically. So that's fine. We played the better then as well, so that's all good. That's all good. We were made to rue missed chances, exactly. Right, there we go. I will see you in the next episode. If you're new to the series, please like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that. That's amazing. It's always nice to hear from you guys. I love you all. Bye bye.